Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Master of Mayhem, Craig Charles.
I'll tell you what, there's something about Robot Wars that brings out the psycho in people. I mean, take the Roboteers. They're teachers, accountants, doctors, and you get them in the war zone, and they're like Attila the Hun. And what about this lot? Hey, are you ready for some carnage? See what I mean? Basket cases, the lot of them. So, Jonathan, who else is going to be losing it today?
Thanks, Craig. Now, call me a clairvoyant, but I've got a feeling tonight's going to be a great one for the destructive. Mind you, I've seen the robots in the pits, haven't I? Let's see how they line up in round one. 3 previous semi-finalists in this little lot. Wild Thing up against newcomers here. Napalm 2 against Warhog. We've seen them before. And Thermidor here matched with an old friend of ours, the Prize Fighter. And let's not forget Velociripper in there as well here, fighting a very good-looking machine, the Alien.
A staggering 5 robot veterans in heat. 5. Some with battle scars from the Fourth War, all toughened by time in the war zone. And there's no substitute for combat experience. Believe that, you'll believe anything. Thermidor is back, ranked 16, with lessons learned from previous wars. They say their flipper is better than Chaos 2's. A proud boast or foolish fantasy? We shall see. Napalm is back too, with pretty much the same robot that they had last year. And last year, this happened. Not looking good, guys. Wild Thing has always been a great robot, and that shows in its ranking. Number 9. Nick Adams is a fantastic driver, and the machine is fast and dangerous. Now, though, with a new spinning disc, it could cause a few upsets in the 5th Wars. Velociripper is back, and like Napalm, it looks the same as before, but a lot of work has gone into the insides of this little snarler. And finally, the Alcock boys return with Prize Fighter. Maybe this time it'll prove to be a true contender and get through the first round. And Wild Thing's up first against Trouble and Strife. It's going to be ugly, but here in the pitch, that's what we like.
It's fighting time. Hey, let the wars begin.
From Ash, Wild Thing.
Fast, basically a 2-wheel drive go-kart, wedge-shaped with a 3-mech and a giant 6,000 RPM 12-kilo cutting disc, twice a series semi-finalist. Wild Thing, we may love you.
From Harbour, Trouble and Strife.
I like the CO2-powered flipper combined with a 20-kilo 1,000 RPM disc and the 4 modified starter motors powering a solid machine. I don't like the sluggish turning circle.
Roboteers, stand by.
Wild Thing and the Adams family. Nick, Dad, Isabel 14 and Jake who's 12. And Trouble and Strife, Peter Forsey, Jake his son and Mike Stokes. In the arena for the house robots, Matilda with a flywheel and the tusks. And if that's not gruesome enough, we have Shunt in there as well with the diamond-edged axe and the scoop.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Wild Thing, heavier, faster, more experienced. You can see its red cutting disc, and if you look carefully, the green spinning disc of Trouble and Strife set lower on the machine. And if you look carefully as well, you can see some damage, I think, already caused to the armour of Trouble and Strife. Just a few scratches and dents. Wild Thing doing all the aggressive work. There's the front flipper of Trouble and Strife, powered by the 2-kilo CO2 cylinder. There are controls of Wild Thing. Nick Adams loves his radio, model car racing, and he loves his Wild Thing machine. Oh! For a minute there, I thought it was going to topple over. Has its own 3-mech, would have been all right, Wild Thing, but this is a struggle here for the experienced Wild Thing machine. Look at this. Went on the attack, was flipped. The spike actually balanced the machine, and down they came, but a little bit of problem there for the wheel hub. just bent and buckled, and should this go to the judges, that will count against Wild Thing. They've got a problem there, they're not running freely, and that wheel looks badly buckled. Wild Thing is in a real survival battle here now. Semi-finalists in the third series of Robot Wars, and the fourth. But here against newcomers, Trouble and Strife, in real trouble themselves, doing the pressing, doing the aggressive work that they need now, a KO, I think. Otherwise, Trouble and Strife could yet put the Adams family out. Almost edge into the CPZ there. Matilda, of course, awaits with the heavy flywheel. We've seen it cause so much damage in past Robot Wars. Certainly Trouble and Strife around the rear is damaged, and they were pushed in there to the CPZ and taking pressure and punishment from Shunt. That's a good drive by Wild Thing. I think Trouble and Strife will just survive and go to a referee's decision. It's going to be very, very close, and they've taken severe damage late on.
Well. That is definitely one for the judges. Wild Thing seeded 9. Could there be a turn up for the books here? The judges will be looking at style, control, damage, and aggression.
While our three wise heads tot up the points, let's have a look at the highlights. Wild Thing on the attack early on, but then suffered damage to the wheel in this attack, which nearly saw them toppled, and there you can see the wheel hub nearly ripped off. It was wobbly from then on in Wild Thing. Came back into it, doing a lot of pushing, and damage was caused to Trouble and Strife very late on by Shunt in that CPZ.
The judges have made their decision. It's really tense here, isn't it? You can cut the tension with a knife. Do you think you got it? Do you think, Jake, do you think you got it now? No. Not sure? The judges have made their decision. The 9th seeds have scraped through. Wild Thing are the winners. Now, I think that is a fairly controversial decision because you were doing so well. You inflicted so much damage on them, didn't you?
Yeah.
But the judges reckon that they were a bit more aggressive. Yeah. I love your spinning disc, very destructive.
Yeah, isn't it? Yes, it's taking the whole out of a mate's drive as well.
Really?
Interesting.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, please, some commiserations for Trouble and Strife.
Skinning a teeth, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was tough. For the first fight in a series, that was like a final type fight. They are a really fantastic robot. And
it took an awful lot of damage as well.
Yeah, their design with that spinning disc was something that we had difficulty with, and they got some good hits in. So we got a bit of panel beating to do, and
you were kind of limping along. Your wheels are all wonky and everything.
Yeah, that's happened to us before. It's true. We kept going though, and yeah, I was trying to get them into the zone. We did get them in the end.
Yeah,
it wasn't easy.
I think that's what swung it for you. You know, the fact you were just constantly coming back. You were sustaining a lot of damage, but you still kept coming back. You still kept pushing them. You got them into the CPZ in the end and shunted them.
Very hard fight. Very close.
What do you think? Your 9 seeds. Do you think you can go all the way this time?
I think we're going to try.
All righty. Oh, it's getting really exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Wild Thing.
Very close, that. A lot of people didn't agree with the decision. Trouble and Strife out, Wild Thing through. Next up, Velociripper and the Alien.
From Barton Green, Velociripper.
A dinosaur's head with warthog tusks, armour-plated spikes, rear steering, a ball and chain at the rear as well, counter-rotating discs at the front. 28 years of engineering experience went into this.
From Heath Hayes, the Alien.
A 2-wheel drive tank steer robot with a powerful rotary hammer weapon, 12mm polycarbonate armour. They use steel tube from an old workbench, armour from old foam box panels, and lots of cart bits in this monster.
Roboteers, stand by.
Velociripper, the more experienced machine. Trevor Wright, his son Matt, and Tony Hillier in there. And a new machine, the Alien, Carl Asplin, his daughter Sarah, and friend Andrew Coe. The house robots for this contest, Sergeant Bash, watch for the flamethrower. And if the lick of flame doesn't get you, then Shunt's axe or scoop might.
3, 2, 1, Activate.
Velociripper made the final of the soccer competition in Series 3, lost in its heat in Series 4 to Razor, no disgrace in that. But up against what I think is a good-looking newcomer here in the Alien, using that flail at the back, a powerful rotary hammer weapon, they call it. 100 kilos, 9 kilos heavier than Velociripper. Has that rotating cutting disc at the front, turning away, big turning circle there for Velociripper. Could count against it in a close melee if it develops that way. I don't think the hammer can get a blow in until then from the Alien. Now let's see what damage it's caused, if any. Velociripper seems to have been stopped in its tracks by the Alien and that hammer blow. Has that immobilised Velociripper? I think it may well have. Trevor Wright certainly looks concerned and engineered by trade. One blow was enough. Velociripper being counted down by the ref bot. Shunt is in there, of course, because we know now that the Ripper has been immobilised by that hammer on the back of the Alien. I told you to watch for it. And I think Velociripper, as the crowd dictates, will be left in the pit. There he goes from Shunt. Left in the dank darkness to vegetate, and that's the first turn-up of this heat.
Velociripper is extinct. The Alien has landed. The Alien goes through. Well done. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you're tiny. You can hardly see over the tide, can you? Tell you what, that spinning hammer,
it's good.
it's vicious though, isn't it?
It does some damage, yeah, it does.
How fast does it spin?
1,000 RPM.
1,000
7
RPM.
kilos. They're two 1.5 kilo lump hammers. 85 miles an hour on the end of that. They're moving at.
It was doing some damage as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, popped a few dents. It's probably knocked some wires loose in there, but that's half of what it's about. You
Right.
know, like some of them are pretty well armoured, but you can knock them about inside.
Wasn't that smashing?
Yeah.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Do you like it on Robot Wars?
Yeah.
Wave to the crowd. Go on. Give him a wave! Ladies and gentlemen, the Alien has landed!
The Alien has a fan club, and why not impressive Velociripper out. Next up, Napalm 2 against Warhawk.
From New Ash Green, Napalm.
A large titanium-hulled wedgie thing with vicious snarling fangs, or so they tell me. Steel spikes attached to the rotary arm. Their fourth attempt at Robot Wars, once reached the semi-finals.
From Hull, Warhawk.
Heavy drum spins around the hub here with two blades attached, four-wheel drive, two home-designed and built gearboxes. An actuator lifts one end to assist steering. A wok provides the robot's helmet.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Warhog machine, Paul Stevenson operating the weapons in there with Mark Chalmers, the driver, and Colin Hare, the team tactician. It's good to see the Napalm team back again. Teacher David Crosby in the middle, Michelle Davey, Vicky Allgood at the controls. Shunt is in the arena again. Watch for the pushing power. And Matilda will tusk you, will churn you with the flywheel, generally disgust you.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Napalm moves first. Has always been a wee bit fragile with the titanium hull in the past. Semi-finalists way back in Series 2, knocked out in the heats ever since, and very sluggish it would seem. That's the back of the Warhog team. This is rather tentative, isn't it? Not the quickest robots around. Neither can get beyond 8-mile-an-hour top speeds. It's all a little bit tentative. Are we watching this in slow motion? Down goes the blade of Napalm. Looks like one of those nodding donkeys you see out in the oil fields of Texas. Up and down with a slow and steady rhythm, and Matilda waits. And again, if you go into what we call the CPZ, the corner patrol zone, it means that the House robots can attack you, and they've got problems there. I think Warhog up in the control booth. Paul Stevenson and Mark Chalmers and Colin Hare desperately, trying to get some electrics to work. And Warhog is just being slowly eased around the arena by Napalm. Well, the lights were blinking in the snout of the hog, but there's very little life elsewhere, and now Matilda, the ref-bot takes a glance, but Matilda came out there and did a little bit of damage. Napalm has Warhog pressed to the arena. Get out of the way, says the ref-bot. I want to see if Warhog has been immobilised here. I want a closer check. Napalm would be well advised to get away from that flame pit. Steer out of danger's reach. The Warhog just pushed by the ref-bot into the middle of the arena so that we can see if there is life in there. But it's moving very slowly. Now is Napalm immobilised? This is most curious. The ref-bot has to check on Napalm being controlled by Vicky Organ. Fighting here at the controls of Napalm. Warhog seems to be on fire on the flame pit. Not the sturdiest or most reliable of robots, these two. It'll go to the judges. Let's be honest, they don't need a pocket calculator to total up the points scored, do they?
The judges have made their decision. Now, let me explain. They reckon that both robots were immobilised at the end of the fight. So they've gone on the action during the fight. And they reckon that you guys were a lot more aggressive. They've gone for Napalm! Guys, there was one of the things they sort of said was that your weapon wasn't working from the start.
It's not working from the start. I reckon we've left the air fluid off it.
What happened?
I've absolutely no idea. When we came in earlier on, they didn't really want to spin the weapon out there, and of course we didn't check it, and it's not running.
Oh, guys, disappointed?
Very disappointed.
Yeah. But these are nice people. You've lost to nice people. Never mind. They deserve it. Hey, you hear that? You deserve it. How do you feel about that?
Wicked.
You were doing the driving, weren't you?
Aye.
Aye. Not bad driving, actually.
Thank you.
How far do you think you can go? There's a lot of big boys out there.
There's a lot of big boys out there. To be honest with you, before we've gone out to these guys, we saw their acts, their spinning disc working around earlier on. We thought, no chance. So Vicky's only chance was to drive it into the wall, hopefully before the disc started.
They forgot to plug it in, though.
But they didn't tell us.
Bad habits seem to have rubbed off on them.
Your bad habits have rubbed off on you. See, it's catching. Bad habits are catching. Ladies and gentlemen, go ballistic for the Napalm posse!
Napalm through on the judge's decision. Warhog crash out. Next up, Thermidor 2 and prize fighter Mac 2.
From Costasy, Thermidor 2.
A lobster with claws and flipper, gas pressurised weaponry, 24-volt electric drive, top speeds of 15 miles an hour, semi-finalists in the last wars, much improved. Watch out for them. This is no Santa Claus.
From Kesgrave, prize fighter Mac 2.
A wedge shape, a World War II Spitfire airbrushed onto the leading surface with flashing guns for show, but a flipper for real and spikes too. This prize fighter has a nasty jab.
Roboteers, stand by.
Thermidor. Look out for them. Much improved David Harding and Ian Harvey. And prize fighter Roy Alcott, brother Eddie and Bill Morsafriend. The House Robots, Sergeant Bash with the long-range flamethrower. And getting in closer for the tussle, Shunts, Axe and Scoop.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So, will the prize fighter come out punching its weight? Oh no! Thermidor immediately flipping the prize fighter Mac 2 over, tossing 96 kilos through the air there with the CO2 pressurized flipper. Needs to dodge the front flipper of the prize fighter. Didn't. Foolish driving, self-rights. Good style from Ian Harvey, who's driving Thermidor. David Harding is the weapons operator. And working well in tandem, But again, Prize Fighter. This is flipping good stuff, isn't it? Good old battle, this. Best of the heat so far. Very close, tenacious, tigerish. There you can see the Thermidor team. Concentration etched on faces. Over they go again. Real close quarters stuff, this. I mentioned Prize Fighter's jab. Thermidor hooked out to the side of the arena. Can't right itself properly to get the flipper working in an aggressive mode. Still mobile now. They're right way up. Strange that Prize Fighter didn't go in there for the kill. Should maybe have closed and got more points on the board. Don't know. Thermidor again turned on its side. So Prize Fighter for me must be on top here. If it goes to the judges, Thermidor, you spent too much time on your backside, as it were. Up and over, facing forward, but mobile? Have they expended too much energy in righting themselves? Oh, a lick of flame from Sergeant Bash. We told you it was a long-range weapon. Now Prize Fighter goes in for the big KO punch. But for me, Thermidor is about to be counted out. Yes, indeed, the red box in there. And this is another major surprise in this heat. Ian Harvey and David Harding, splendid competitors in the past, are to go at the first hurdle. The Prize Fighter is marching on towards who knows, heavyweight glory. And Thermidor, not out of the ring, not on the ropes, but in the pit.
Cease.
Well, Thermidor 2 roasted in the pit. Prize Fighter 2 go through. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
It was a right good tear-up, wasn't it?
It wasn't bad, was it? We did try, and, well, it's the first time we've got beyond round one, so we're happy.
Oh, you've got to be. I mean,
Third time lucky. We've been here twice and gone out in the first round, so it had to happen.
It's quite a powerful flipper, yours.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's 50% more powerful than last year.
I thought, you know, if he wasn't immobilised, he might have snatched it, though, because he's improved a lot as well, hasn't he, Thermidor, too?
Absolutely, it's all good credit to him.
How far do you think they're going to go?
Don't know. We're happy getting this far now. We'll look forward to the next round and, you know, enjoy it.
These are dizzy heights for you. You haven't got this far before.
We haven't. No, we haven't.
Early days, though.
Early days. Well done. We enjoyed it. Great robot. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Prize Fighter 2.
Bit of a surprise, but Prize Fighter marching on, Thermidor crashing by the wayside. We have our 4 heat semi-finalists then, and Prize Fighter's reward is a matchup against the Alien. The first semi-final we'll see, though, in this heat, Wild Thing against Napalm 2.
OK, Napalm and Wild Thing up next. Both sustained damage in the first round. What happened to you?
Well, many things happened to us in our first battle. Both of our axles and our wheels got bent, and the motor, the shaft snapped on our spinner disc. So, but we fixed it all, and we should be all right now.
OK, yeah? Just how well it works when they actually get in there, that's the worry. These guys too, slightly traumatic first round. What happened to you?
On the first round, we got kind of hit by one of the house robots, which pushed one of our wheels out of alignment, which meant we couldn't drive forward. Unfortunately, Vicky remembered that we can drive backwards as well.
So if you haven't fixed it as well as you thought you had, you'll just be driving backwards. And we'll know what's happened.
We hope it works forwards as well.
Yeah, well, we hope it does too. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
From New Ash Green, Napalm.
Hi, I'm Vicky, this is Michelle and Dave, and this is Napalm 2.
Napalm 2 has its wheelchair motor-driven axe at the back, which drives up, down, hopefully putting a few holes into a number of robots.
This is our 5th successive war, and this time we hope to do some real damage.
From Ash, Wild Thing.
Hi, we're the Wild Thing team, and I'm Isabel. This is
Jake
and
Nick.
We've been here before and we've upgraded the robot so we now have a spinner disc and we aim to win.
Roboteers, stand by.
Wild Thing, improved. Looked it too. For Nick Adams, daughter Isabel and son Jake. Against David Crosby, Vicky Organ and Michelle Davey, and the Napalm Machine. There it is. Very slow in victory against Warhog. House robots will pick up anything loose, anything vulnerable, dead metal with the pincer and the saw. And Shunt back again and hungry for more metal mayhem.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Wild Thing, first out of the traps, slamming straight into Napalm. 100 kilos, both machines. Napalm stopped in its tracks. We need to see some movement from Napalm. Wild Thing here. That disc does look very potent. Crumpling in on the side of Napalm and the titanium hull. And Napalm is going nowhere, very, very fast. Again, Wild Thing attacking. The bang of Napalm drops slowly, ponderously. Catches onto Wild Thing, onto the arm that they use as a Sreemec. Vicky, who loves her computer programming, trying to program a response from Napalm. Nothing coming so far from the team from New Ash Green. There goes the pit release button, activated by Wild Thing. And now they're shaping for a push here. Push and shove Napalm all the way. Veering out towards the arena side wall, dodging the pit momentarily, but not for long. And that was on the guards from the word activate. Disappearing in a cloud of steam. Napalm, Wild Thing the winners.
Napalm never really got going. Wild Thing, do the Wild Thing and go through.
Never really got going, did it?
No, it wasn't working.
It wasn't working?
No.
So you were just like lambs to the slaughter, basically?
One way of putting it, yeah.
What went wrong? Why wasn't it working?
I think their first hit must have knocked something and just...
Something's been knocked in, yeah.
And you ended up in the pit?
Good place to be. Safer.
It's a safe place to be. Ladies and gentlemen, Napalm!
You've reached the finals. Happy about that? Yeah. Think you can go much further?
Well, yeah, the robot's working okay. It's quite quick and manoeuvrable.
It's very manoeuvrable.
Yeah, so that's one advantage we've got. So we'll keep on at it.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, please raise the roof for Wild Thing.
The Adams Family mean business. Napalm 2 crash away. The Alien and Prize Fighter Mac 2 next up.
From Heath Hayes, the Alien.
Hello, we are Team Desert Storm, and this is the Alien, our robot for this year's entry into Robot Wars. The team members, Sarah Asplin, my daughter. I'm Carl Asplin. Family friend here is Andrew Cope. We've got a 1,000 RPM spinner there, 7 kilos in weight, powered by Sinclair C5 motor, polycarbonate armour, 12mm thick, self-righting mechanism, lift to 150 kilos, and we're here to win this year.
From Kesgrave, Prize Fighter Mac 2.
We are Team Prize Fighter. This is Prize Fighter Mark II. I'm Roy, the driver of the robot. This is my brother Eddie, who operates the weapons, and our colleague Bill, who helps with the team. Now I'll hand over to my brother, who operates the weapons.
The weapon is the flipper on the front of the robot here. This is capable of turning all other robots over. It also serves to self-right the robot if itself is upside down. We hope we'll do well, but a lot depends on luck and all sorts of things.
Roboteers, stand by.
Cursory glance by the ref bot to make sure both robots are in position. There we have the Alien, Carl Asplin, 7-year-old daughter Sarah, and Andrew Cope, and the Prize Fighter Mac 2 machine of Roy and Eddie Alcock up there at the controls, and Bill Morse between them. Shunt is in the arena to push, to edge, to axe. And Dead Metal back again with the saw, the pincer.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Your opponent doesn't get you, the house robots will, or maybe the arena. We have flame pits, we have angle grinders, we have flippers, we have the alien hammer and the prize fighter flipper. He's trying to maneuver the machine there, is Roy Alcott, to get prize fighter behind the alien to flip it. Needs to dodge that heavy hammer though, spinning it up to 1,000 RPM. And a good flip by prize fighter. Over goes the alien. Now can they self-right? They have a pneumatic self-righter. They seem to be stuck and off balance. You can see the 3-neck machine trying to right the alien. Well, the hammer, I don't know why they're spinning it. That's going to play no role whatsoever. Little Sarah looks on.
They're going to.
And I don't think they're going to be able to self-right.
Oh, don't worry, Sarah.
Oh, little Sarah, don't cry. Don't cry. Oh, Shunt, you nasty thing. Go on, prize fighter. That's it. Press the release button. Go on. Stop it. Get it all too much for me, isn't it? Bye-bye, alien. Unfortunately, Sarah, you see, the machine wasn't really good enough. Dad will explain. Maybe you can come back next time around. Now you can self-right, Carl Asplin. It's a little bit late. The alien's hammer bashes down on Shunt's bulldozer. One wonders what it might have achieved. Already counted out. Prize fighter through to the heat final.
Well, Alien might like a ding-dong with the house robots, but he was out for the count. The winner is Prize Fighter 2!
I thought you were going to win.
I thought we were as well.
I didn't think they could get under you.
Oh, I didn't. It hasn't got very much ground clearance at all, but they did manage to drive underneath us, flip us up. And the self-righter very nearly does it, but it's not quite.
It didn't get you over.
No,
it was trying,
it was trying. It was nearly there, but next year it'll be better.
And then,
it won't have a problem.
Of course, a little bit of bad losing crept in then, didn't it? Because you've been counted out, Shunt helps you over, and then you start trying to get stuck into the house robots with that hammer.
Well, you know, you've got to give them a bit back. They dish out plenty, so, you know, like, I'll give them a bit back.
That was a good bit, though, wasn't it?
It was a good bit, yeah. It was a good fight.
That hammer's is a lethal weapon, isn't it?
It'll be more lethal next year when it's going faster.
Oh, fight and talk.
Look forward to seeing you. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alien!
Don't cry.
You bullies. Look what you've done. Look what you've done.
Bad.
You've reduced it to tears.
You made us feel bad.
All is fair in love and Robot Wars.
I suppose so.
And, I mean, you are living proof that Robot Wars appeals, if you don't mind me saying, to every generation.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I have a 10-year-old granddaughter.
Tell me about it, because I thought you weren't going to get under them.
It didn't drive as well today as it did previously. I don't know why. I didn't think we were going to be able to get under them either. It worked, didn't it? So,
I tell you what, that flipper is powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If you can get it in the right place, yeah.
That's it. So, and that was you were finding a bit of a problem with the manoeuvrability of it?
Yes. Don't know why, but we'll carry out some testing and modifications and see how we go on from there.
Well, good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. This is Prize Fighter 2!
Prize Fighter Mach 2, the old left-right combination, good enough to see off the alien and through to the heat final. Two good machines here. Wild Thing against the Prize Fighter Mach 2. Well, tonight we've had it all. Tears, laughter, the odd controversial judge's decision, obviously. But it's time to find our winner, and let's find out how our finalists got here. And the Wild Thing were pushed very close by Trouble and Strife. Picked up damage to a wheel, it went to the judges, and it was a very close decision. Lottie's easier, though, against Napalm. That first thrust immobilised Napalm, and from then on, why, Wild Thing were just a push and shove away from victory. Meanwhile, Prize Fighter tossed Thermidor constantly. The Lobster embroiled in defeat. And then the Alien, starting confidently, couldn't surf right. And the Prize Fighter went through.
They've got memories like elephants, these Roboteers. I don't know if you remember, but in the third war, Prize Fighter and Wild Thing were up against each other. You guys didn't stand a chance, did you?
Not a hope in hell.
No. But then you guys have never got past round one so far, have you?
No, we haven't.
So how are you feeling about the prospect of the semi-finals just there?
Well, we're just feet away, aren't we?
It's a nice way to look at it, very optimistic. You guys, however, top 8 last year. What are you feeling?
Well, it's nice to be up against them again. They know our weaknesses, we know theirs, so it should be a good fight. But obviously we think we're going to win, but you never know what's going to happen out there. I think they got something up their sleeve.
Have you? You got something up your sleeves?
Not a lot.
No, but this is your chance to get them back.
Yeah,
All
certainly.
those battles ago.
We're going to try very, very hard, and if we achieve it, then, well, that's great, isn't it?
And have you got something up your sleeve?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No. Just a more powerful robot than last time, that's all.
OK, well, it's done well so far. Good luck. The semi-finals, it's all to play for.
Well, 2 robots think they're hard, so let's settle this the hard way. Let the heat final begin!
From Ash, Wild Thing. From Kesgrave, Prize Fighter Mach 2. Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the House Robots, the Invincible Sir Killalot, heavy, crushing, dangerous. And Shunt, tigerish, dominating, dastardly.
3, 2, 1, activate.
They may not have anything up their sleeve, but Prize Fighter hardly harmless. And they come forward now and immediately go on the attack on Wild Thing. Oh, Wild Thing got dangerously broadside on, and that's where a flipper can be its most destructive. Wild Thing, of course, here have the spinning disc, which can cause real mayhem to Armory. But Prize Fighter and the Alcott boys, and there we can see Bill Morse, their great pals, seem to be okay withstanding that attack of Wild Thing, which still seems to be wobbly on the tyres and now flipped over. Prize Fighter dodging, dancing around the ring and waited for the opportunity to get that jab in. Good boxing in the Robot Wars arena. Wild Thing now is seeing stars. Has to get back into the fight and quickly. Flicked again. And once more. Now you need to get out of that CPZ, Prize Fighter. Wild Thing in trouble, but Prize Fighter opening itself up there momentarily for an attack by a House Robot, but he's in underneath Wild Thing again. Prize Fighter knocked out in the first round of Robot Wars 3 and Robot Wars 4. Wild Thing twice a series semi-finalist, but I don't think we'll be going through to the series semi-finals this time around. The wheel wobbles on top, underneath the wheel churns and turns and tries to get some purchase on the arena floor to flip Wild Thing up and over. It's not going to happen. Prize Fighter releasing the pit of doom. Wild Thing crashes down. Time is running out for you, Nick Adams. And daughter Isabel, who controls the Sreemec, with Jake, who also has a hand on the spinning disc. They've got to push Prize Fighter towards the pit. Wild Thing, can they come back in? Prize Fighter digging in. Put the old brakes on there rather sharpish, didn't they? Tuck in and save themselves. And Nick Adams nearly pulled it out of the fire there. May yet do so. One tactic, push Prize Fighter towards the pit. There will be irony in there because Prize Fighter activated the pit release. What a good battle this has been. A fitting heat final. Tremendous stuff for a place in the series. Semi-finals later on, of course. Wild Thing at the second stick down tries to push Prize Fighter into an angle grinder. Gonna go to the judges. Very, very close. Prize Fighter dominant early on. The Wild Thing fighting back well. Terrific stuff. Look at this. Prize Fighter turning Wild Thing almost over. The highlights of a very good battle. Wild Thing flipped once and twice. Righted itself. Needed to again there. Good work here. Steering, control, style by Prize Fighter. Mistake. Press the pit release button, thinking Wild Thing were out of it. They weren't. They came back in. Good control here by Nick Adams, and they very nearly turned the fight at the end. All judges, I wouldn't like to be in your shoes. You have a difficult job to do here. I can't pick them.
Guys, this is for a place in the semi-finals. Hey, you're right. Tension, tension, tension. You remember the look at it. Style, control, damage, and aggression.
They've gone for Wild Thing! You make everything groovy.
I bet you feel cheated.
Yeah, I thought we'd get the decision.
I thought you'd get the decision as well.
Yeah, never mind.
Refbot was just about to move in and count them out.
Yep.
And they got back on their feet. The judges are looking at style, control, damage, and they reckon that they were far more aggressive.
Right. Oh, well.
You know, especially towards the end, once they got back on their feet, as it were.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, not to worry.
You know, what about... Don't be too disheartened. What about next year?
Yeah, well, we'll try and drive it a bit more aggressively.
Ladies and gentlemen, these guys, give it up for them. Prize Fighter! What a robot! Well, you're a very lucky girl, aren't you?
Going through again.
Hey, going through again. You're in the series semi-finals. How do you feel about that?
I feel great.
Did you think you were out?
Yeah, for a bit.
I tell you what, your self-writer works.
It does work.
And it works, and it works, and it works.
Oh, yeah, they do.
flipped you over, you came back up, they flipped you over, came back up, they flipped you onto your side, you almost went out, and yet you still got the decision.
We did. Well, then we got strong towards the end, I think.
Towards the end.
We kept Adams. So, aggression, yeah, we're good at aggression.
You're good at aggression.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Because you're Wild Thing! Give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. William Tell made noise with his overtures, but we make more on Robot Wars.
Bye-bye.